Good evening, beautiful people of God. Once again, I'm coming on tonight. We're going to discuss never involve others or family members in your abusive situations, especially if you do not have any intentions on leaving your abuser. So tonight we're going to discuss a little bit of that. And tonight I just want to once again thank everyone for getting on. If you're on, you can give me a wave. Hello, amen, hallelujah. Um, Tonight I was feeling a little heavy. I was gonna get on tomorrow night, but for those of you who know the Bookers, 19 years ago I lost my brother in a World Trade Center, and around this time of the year I get a little heavy, and it still seemed like yesterday. That this happened. So each year, we all go through our healing process. So, I'm still in the healing process even 19 years later. So tonight, once again, I want to thank everyone that's going to get on, all of those who will post, all of those who have supported this vision of trying to house battered and abused women. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I'm gonna start off tonight with giving you three reasons why you should never inform your family or friends about your abusive situation if you're not gonna leave your abuser. Number one, someone can get seriously injured. Number two, someone can end up in jail. Number three, someone can end up dying in that situation. Then you have to live with that. Um, Sometimes we act on our emotions. And when we are being abused, for those of us women who have brothers, and we know that they will stand up for us in a blink of an eye. The moment we get into a heated argument or a fight with our abuser, the first thing we would tell our abuser is when they are getting the best of us, I will get my brother to whoop your, you know what the rest of that is. Not even thinking before we act, we just get so angry and we so upset, knowing we ain't gonna leave, even though we're gonna include someone in that may get hurt behind it. You can call up that family member or that friend to come to rescue you, and don't let that family member or friend not like that person that you're calling about. They already want to put foot where it belongs. Now you have involved an innocent person to your drama. Now they either end up getting hurt, or they end up in jail for assault, or someone dies in that situation. Now you have to live with the decision you have made to involve someone in your mess. So I encourage you, if you're not going to leave your abuser, don't put other people involved, because I was there. But I never called anyone to come to my rescue, because I knew within my know I wasn't going anywhere, and I was going to still be with that mess. So, people of God, I really never told my family that I was being abused. They could always tell, especially my mother, because I worked with my mother. So days I would try not to go to her desk is when she would come to my desk. Either I had on too much makeup and she could see the bruises underneath. She could see the bruises under my eyes, or she could see scratches on my arms and hands. She began to question me about the marks and bruises she saw, and I would always have an excuse of for what she seen. Or if I stayed away too long and not visited my family house, they knew something was wrong. Once again, I never told them I was being abused, but people know. They see the marks, they see the bruises. We always have an excuse. Oh, I hit my arm on the door. I was cooking and I burnt myself. So for me, I would just try to heal from the physical marks by not being around, being in their presence, so that they wouldn't even know that I went through what I had went through, because I would be healed by the time I seen them. But once again, I couldn't get away with that. Not with my family. If you got a family that love you and a family that's willing to fight for you, really, you ain't even got to tell them what's going on. They can see it, and that's when they begin not to like your abuser. So once again, I encourage that if You're going to call someone to help you out your situation. Make sure you're going to get out. Don't call them because, see, your abuser may not be the one to get hurt. Your abuser may not be the one to go to jail. The one you call to come to your aid may be the one that end up in a bad situation or even end up dying. So, we have to be mindful that when you're in an abusive situation, don't call others because you get others involved and others get hurt in that. And once again, I never told, but they know. And this is why they never cared for my ex-husband, because they always knew. They can always tell when they see me. I don't care how much makeup I put on and try to cover up that black eye, or I try to cover up those scratches on my hand. Now, don't get it wrong. I would fight back. I was a fighter now, and I fought back. So, again, don't put other people involved in your situation if you're not going to leave, because then you make them angry with you. You make them upset with you. They be like, I went around here and I done helped you. I done got hurt, or I ended up in jail, and you still with that, who. So be mindful that if you're gonna call somebody, make sure you're gonna get out. Don't just call because you're mad and you're gonna go back to that person. And I'm gonna give you a testimony. Once again, and this about my brother who I lost in the World Trade Center 19 years ago. And my brother was a humble guy. Oh, I've never seen my brother fight. Never. So on this testimony one night, it wasn't even at night, it was in the day. And again, that ex-husband of mine didn't care who he fought you in front of. He don't care where you was at. If you made him mad or he felt you was wrong, you was fighting. Get your grease out, get your sneakers out. I don't care what you get out. You ain't even had to get it out. The fight was on. So one specific day, me and my ex-husband was coming out and we was going somewhere. We got in an argument coming out of the building, and we was arguing and we was almost in fist fights. And my brother happens to be riding by us. And my brother seen what was going on. Again, I didn't never tell my brothers or anyone what was going on. They knew, but I just didn't share because I didn't want anyone to get hurt. Because once again, I knew I wasn't going to leave. I was going to still be with them. So why get somebody hurt in that? And my brother got out of his car. Oh boy, my brother wanted to beat him down. But you know what I did? I stopped it. Why? Because I knew that I was not going to leave my abuser. So why should I even allow my brother to get himself, and he was a pastor. My brother was a pastor at that time. So I didn't even want to get him involved in that, have him get hurt, and then I'm still with the person. No way. I would not. I broke that up before it can even happen because I did not want my brother to get hurt. Now, on the other hand, whatever happened to the other one, then I just would have had to, I would have had to accept it. So again, I didn't let him know. Just happened that he was in the right place. He was in the right place at the right time, as far as I'm concerned. But I didn't want him to get hurt. So, and I'm not saying he would have got hurt, but I kept him from that. I told him it wasn't worth it. I wasn't going to leave, so it didn't make sense for him to intervene in that. Then I had another situation. God bless the dead. My older sister, she was a fighter. And my older sister, she didn't take his stuff and she didn't like him. And she would tell him in her face she ain't like him. Once again, I never told him, but they happen to always be in the midst of something that I was going through with that ex-husband. And this sister, and I believe I kind of gave you a little bit of this story one time, how my older sister came to stay with me for a while. And one specific night, she had company to and he came in and he was angry and he went to hit the phone out my hand and he slapped me. Oh boy, let me tell you something. Today, I had a conversation with my daughter about that sister who had that fight with my husband. And I laughed so hard, and my daughter was like, wow, you can laugh at it. I said, it wasn't funny then. I said, it wasn't funny. I said, but my sister, she was a fighter, and she was not going to stand for him putting his hand on me. And he didn't even care. We had company in the house, so he walked in and he slapped me. That was a fight of a lifetime. When I tell you, my sister warned him, my God bless the dead. God bless my sister. She beat his tail up in there. And when the cops came, trust me, it wasn't my sister that they were taking out. It was my ex-husband. But I say all that to say, you see how you could be in the midst of something. You don't have to tell somebody, but somebody can get hurt and all of that. And again, I didn't tell her, but she was staying with me, so she seen it. He had no care. He was inconsiderate. He didn't care who he fought me around. So she happened to be in the midst of our drama. Now, what if she would have got hurt? What if he would have grabbed a knife or something and stabbed her? I would have lived with that for the rest of my life. Again, if you're not going to get out, don't tell anyone. Because even after that, and even when he went to jail for that one night, guess what? I stayed. So guess what? My sister could have got killed in that. I could have got hurt in that. Thank God we didn't. But again, we could have both been dead. He could have been dead. Thank God he ended up in jail because guess what? When he slapped that phone out my hand and it dispatched 911 and they heard all that chaos and confusion when the cops came, he ain't have a chance. They just took him out and they locked him up. But he, like I said, he was only going for a day. But again, I took him back. So again, if you're not gonna get out of something, don't call people. Don't call people to be involved unless you really want their help. Listen, people come to your aid because they really want to help you. They don't want to see you being abused. If they come to your aid, it's because they love you. And I'm not going to tolerate it. And I'm not going to allow anyone to beat on you or abuse you. Thank God my older brother was never in the midst because I can imagine also if my older brother was in the midst, he would have hurt my ex-husband. So again, I didn't want anybody to get hurt. I didn't tell because I knew I stayed in it so long and I kept going back. What sense did it make for me to tell if I wasn't going to get out? And again, I wasn't going to get out. I stayed. I stayed. I stayed. I stayed. I stayed. I stayed 11 years. I stayed. I stayed. But guess what? Had I called people, people could have been hurt. But I thank God I didn't. And I thank God, even in the midst of the times that family members did intervene because they seen us outside fighting or they, rode up on us in the midst of that, that nobody got hurt. So again, I'm not coming on telling you nothing I don't know. I'm telling you what I've been through. Um, and I don't want anybody to get hurt because that's what can happen when you involve other people in your quarrels with your abuser. Abusers don't care where they fight you at. They don't care where they humiliate you at. They don't care. You could be in a club, you could be in a midst of a party and they get mad at you and they going off. And that's the kind of ex-husband I had. He didn't care where he was at. I don't care if you went to some family member's house. He had an argument with you. He was gonna fight you in front of the family members. So again, I'm here to encourage just wisdom is wisdom when you've been through it and you can come forth and you have lived it and you can tell people or you can try to encourage people never to accept abuse. And again, I want to thank everyone that comes on and listen. I know it's been 19 years that my brother passed away, but it's still a heaviness in this family when this time of year come. So again, keep me in prayer because I had to pray to get on tonight instead of tomorrow because I didn't want to be so heavy that I wouldn't be able to bring forth what I needed to say on tonight. So once again, I thank you, and I want to thank all of those who have purchased my new book, Power of Love, in it through the eyes of God. It definitely talks about love. And again, abuse is not love. So once again, I thank you. That's not the only book that I have written. I wrote another book in 2012. Your location is not your destination. All these books have been written based on my life and what I went through. My third book. This is really my second book here, which is The Journey Never Ends. So if you're interested, you can always get on Amazon and you can order a book. They're very encouraging. It definitely these books again I wrote according to my life and how I got out. So once again, I thank you. Have a blessed evening, and I'll see you next week. Have a nice evening.